Oh boy, we are getting into some real exciting stuff today and possibly embarrassing. Hello everyone, my name is Holly and welcome to the finale of series week. My last couple videos have all been book series related. We talked about the ones that I want to start, the ones I am not continuing, very controversial. Both will be linked down below for you, and to end on a positive note, today I have for you the series that I do in fact want to continue, which is a lot. So I actually used to not be this way, but lately I've been notorious for not finishing series if I don't binge them all at once. If there's a year or more wait between installments, it can be really hard for me to feel invested in the world as much anymore, and it's game over for me. Also, being a booktuber, you just really have to heavily focus on new books or you're left in the dust. And here we are. I really want to go into 2022. Oh my god, I can't even say that year without my freaking heart literally stuttering. I can't believe it's going to be 2022 soon. I don't want to go into the year that must not be named without having read most of these books. And I say most because I know me and new releases are very enticing, especially during the second half of the year. Trust me, I do have more series I need to complete than what I am about to show you today, but I'm really trying to pinpoint the ones I'll be reading in the coming months. In fact, the first 3 books are actually not out yet, but they will be soon and they are next installments. In fact, 2 of them are finales. I still want to mention them here because I will without a doubt read them the moment I get them in my hands. The first is The Wisdom of Crowds. Will immediately drop my current read once this is put in front of my freaking eyeballs. It definitely won't be in that pile of book series I never finish, not even a possibility. This is the finale to the Age of Madness series, technically the 10th book in the First Law universe. Holy smokes, I've invested so much time in this world for good reason. It is utterly brilliant, and I don't know if this is the last of it. Maybe this is blasphemy as a Joe Abercrombie addict, you guys know me, but I would love to see a new world from him, like how John Gwynne released The Shadow of the Gods. Something about a brand new fantasy world from Abercrombie is the stuff freaking cocaine is made of. It would literally make the SFF community go into a whole frenzy. Anyways, I am so hyped for this, and it'll be a great feeling finishing off a whole trilogy because we really don't see that often in these neck of the woods. The Bone Shard War. That title doesn't really roll off the tongue that easily. Hello everyone, Editing Holly here, and I just realized that I said the Bone Shard War. It's actually the Bone Shard Emperor. I just follow this amazing author on Twitter, and she's been talking about the Bone Shard War a lot, and I said it in the video. Whoops. Another immediate read once I get it. It's a sequel to The Bone Shard Daughter, one of my favorite books from last year, a fantastic debut. Believe the hype, it is so good. It takes place in a tropical setting consisting of many different islands and kind of has a similar magic system to Foundry Side, but a much darker version. Basically, we have these constructs which are the makeup of all kinds of different animal parts, including bone shards from citizens' skulls that keep them alive. We have animal companions, a terrifying emperor, a really great cast of characters that are all very different. Actually, now that I'm remembering, I have a whole should you read episode for this one, so if you want to be really convinced, go check out that video. It's spoiler free. But yeah, I have so many questions that I hope will be answered in this sequel, as the magic system I feel like is going to be really opened up here. Things are definitely going to get spicy. In the final book that is coming out, I think in the next few months, unless I'm just totally misremembering, but I'll definitely be reading it the moment I get it, The Fall of Babel. Whew, the anxiety waiting for this book has been for real. It's been 2 years since the release of The Hod King. I really feel like I should do a reread of this entire series because I don't remember details, but I'm impatient and lazy. This is the 4th and final book in the incredibly underrated fantasy series called The Books of Babel. If you are looking for something unique, something you have never read before, highly, highly recommend. It's one of my favorite series of all time because there is absolutely nothing like it. Let me set the scene for you. Essentially, we have this huge spiraling tower that penetrates the clouds, and it consists of ringdoms. So imagine like layers on a cake, and our main character goes in, and it's just one crazy event after another as he climbs higher, and the whole time he's trying to find his wife who got lost. It really has like a video game feel to it, so if you are a gamer, be a bro, take my recommendation. Okay, so now we are moving on to books that I physically own and are out in the world. Chaos Factor, a little bit of a July TBR spoiler for you. I do plan on reading this next month. It's the sequel to Velocity Weapon. If you are an avid fantasy reader, I highly recommend this series because I think it's a great stepping stone into the sci-fi genre. It somehow has this like fantasy camouflage draped over it, and maybe that's why I enjoyed it as much as I did. Very, very character driven with some intense action, some humor thrown in since we have a very sassy, dramatic, sentient spaceship that talks and everything and has a relationship with our main character. The third book is coming out this month and I have it, so I would love to quickly finish off this series, see how it ends, and then start a new sci-fi series like No Fake Loss, which I mentioned in the video where I talk about the book series I want to start. So that sounds like a great plan. Sorcery of a Queen, the sequel to Blood of an Exile, which I really enjoyed. It had an unnecessary sex scene that I hated, but other than that, a really good dragon fantasy. I'll be honest though, I've always preferred the UK covers to this series, and that statement has been driven even harder because, okay, you gotta tell me your opinion in the comments because I need to know the consensus of this cover. I desperately need to know your thoughts, so get ready to comment down below. But I hate the US cover for the third book, which was revealed recently. Okay, I won't jump scare you. I'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1, boom. It looks like a movie tie-in. It does not make me want to read it, and frankly, it's terrifying. But I do need to read the sequel, which I'm very excited for. But man, this is... I can't even take it seriously with him staring at me like that. The World of Corona. Okay, this is a bit of an exception. I know some of you are confused right now because technically it's not this series that I am talking about, but I do want to continue this world specifically. Like I said, it's called the World of Corona. That's a really unfortunate name at this time, but I absolutely adore this trilogy, and at the time of finishing it, I did not realize it takes place in that universe, even though it's totally a self-contained story. You can read this by itself, totally understand everything. But I want to continue reading in this world by going on to the Demon Wars saga, which is, what, like, I don't know, like 7 books or something. It's really hard to keep track at this point. And they're written in the 1990s, but we love us a good classic sword and sorcery moment. Actually, now that we're on the topic, I really should have included the Drizzt series in my book series I want to start video because R.A. Salvatore overall has amazing potential to be like Drew Abercrombie John Gwynne level for me. His world, writing, and characters are just my jam. But I feel like I need to finish this world first because I've started it, or I'll just like overwhelm myself because the Drizzt series is a whole beast of its own. Like freaking like what, 30 books or something? Oof. You know, take everything I just said with a grain of salt because I really do want to start the Drizzt series. Man, I have so much to catch up on. I could probably only read from this author and have like a year worth of reading. Hey, but at least I have started, and that's all that matters. And next we have Blood Mage. This is book 2 to the... what is it called? What is the series called? Is it Age of Dread? Okay, so I'm just gonna call it the Battle Mage series because I don't remember. Though I only gave the first book, Battle Mage, 3 stars, which is still a book I liked. I just had some issues with it. I recently finished The Coward, this author's newest release, and man, I really enjoyed it. So it's kind of like motivating me and enticing me more to continue with more of his books. I just really adore this author's writing style. It's so easy to read, it's fluid, thoughtful, gets the point across without being like convoluted, but also still gives that like adult fantasy feel. Also, Steven told me he thinks I'm really going to enjoy this more than the first book, so I am keeping his word that that is the case. The Providence of Fire. So a few of you actually mentioned this series in my book series I want to start video. How many times am I going to mention that video? I'm so sorry, but you are recommending it to me. But I have actually read the first book. Unfortunately, I thought it was just okay. I might have left that part out in my reply, though I feel like I just read it at the wrong time, so I actually wouldn't mind moving on to the sequel and giving it a try. If you don't know what I'm talking about, by the way, we are talking about the Chronicles of the Unhewn Throne series. The first one is The Emperor's Blades. But yeah, I would not mind giving this one a try. I own the entire series, including the prequel, because past Holly had no qualms doing that. And then, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm mentioning this book yet again. This next series is weighing on me so freaking bad, but that's The Burning God. I know the reason, I know why I haven't picked this one up yet. I don't remember a freaking thing about it. I read arcs of both the first book and the second book months before they released. I was on top of the series, but it all fell apart when this one came out. Because I have total brain fog, like I see fan art of these characters and I'm like,
who the hell are these people?
And I know the author has book summaries, but that's still a lot of energy for me to take the time to read. I know a few of you who didn't enjoy the Poppy War, and I totally see where you were coming from. I actually do not care for school settings, and I know that really makes me alone in the booktube community because everyone raves about school settings, but as someone who hated school with a passion, I typically don't want to read about it. It's the second half of the Poppy War that secured my love for it. Book 2, The Dragon Republic, had some like nautical themes that I really enjoyed, so please just tweet at me every single day until I pick this up. The battle is still going on. Laziness wins every single time. And the last book I want to mention is A Chorus of Fire. Honestly, I have no idea why I haven't continued with the sequel. The first book is The Bard's Blade. It actually has nothing to do with not remembering what happened, because in fact, I do for once remember. It's a very simple and interesting story, maybe because I don't own it physically. No, that's just like plainly an excuse because I own so many books that have been on my TBR for years. So yeah, I don't know what happened. I think I'm going to really enjoy it, maybe because the story was so straightforward that I'm on the fence if the sequel can really change that and make it worth my time. I don't know. It's on the ever-growing list though. And that is it. That is a decent amount of book series that I would like to continue. Please let me know down in the comments what series that you have been putting off for a while that you've started but have yet to finish. We can all laugh at each other down below. Which series should I put higher on my list? That would be good to know too. Like this video, it really helps me out. Follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at Holly Hearts Books and on Twitter at Holly Anise, which I'm much more active on. And until we meet again, happy reading.